I slipped my phone out of my pocket, holding it below the counter and breathing a sigh of relief. Moments like this, when the Samba Smoothies is totally free from customers, are a rare treat. No confused moms asking me which flavor blaster is healthiest, no teenagers loudly slurping their neon drinks, and no manager looking pointedly at the big industrial smoothie blender and then the sponge by the sink. It's a smoothie blender, Carla. It's okay for it to have juice on it. I've been working here for 1.5 years, and not once has someone gone into anaphylactic shock because a tiny drop of lemongrass perk accidentally landed in their boysenberry bump. It's crazy how, when your nerves are totally shot, a little thing like 30 seconds on your phone feels like a day at a spa. I pull up the Wizard Watch server on Discord, and for a moment I'm immersed in breathless coverage and speculation of how a mage in Taiwan had somehow used illegal translocation magic to steal a hard drive full of Bitcoin wallet keys. Pretty badass, right? Okay, to be honest, the posts on this server are like 95% speculation and 5% an article from a Taipei news report automatically translated into English. But still, even hearing about flashy legal magic is pretty rare, and you only hear about the exciting band stuff every few months. And then an email notification pops up. The preview at the top of the screen is enough to make my heart wither. I kind of knew it was coming, but still. That moment when hope ends, when your last desperate half-court shot goes wide and it's all over. It's brutal. I tap the email, but before I can read it, suddenly there's an older woman standing in front of me, hunched over a bit but smiling kindly from behind thick glasses.
Hello, dear. Can I get a triple protein stimulus and an apple berry amp?
Hi, Susan, I say, writing her name on the cup. Susan is a wiry, white-haired lady who must be well past retirement age. She's come here twice a week for the past year, and she's never called me by my name, even though Bryce is embroidered in big bold letters on the front of my bright red apple apron. I got upgraded from a name tag pin to embroidery for my first anniversary working here at Samba. Please, kill me now. This should help you build those huge muscles, I say, handing Susan the smoothie and trying to give her the usual smile and put the email out of my mind.
Oh, my dear, you know I just like the taste of it,
she says, completing our usual banter.
Plus, sometimes things at the retirement home get a bit spicy, and I need to replenish my electrolytes.
She usually says something mildly inappropriate like that, but I've gotten used to it. Honestly, she's a sweetheart, and I'd much rather chat with her than the yoga moms and bodybuilders who don't even acknowledge my existence. With the number of calories in one of those things, Susan should have gained 30 pounds, but it doesn't seem to have affected her. Some lucky folks just have that supercharged metabolism, I guess. Or they have spicy times at the retirement home very frequently. Hey, I'm not here to judge. Susan is happily on her way with her smoothie, but it's almost the end of my shift, which means that everyone who looked up our closing time on Google and just barely made it through the door before 7 o'clock is lining up. I rev up the blender and grab a fistful of apple slices. The email on my phone will have to wait. 240 fluid ounces of Samba Smoothie later, company policy allows me to flip the sign on the door to closed, and I finally pull up my email. I already saw the first 2 sentences, but I force myself to read the whole thing anyway, just in case. Dear Bryce, thank you so much for your application, it reads. Unfortunately, we had an extraordinarily high volume of applications this year, full of qualified candidates, and we will not be able to offer you a spot in this year's class for our graduate Arcane Arts program at the Kotodama Institute. It goes on to say some nice-sounding BS about how hard it is to get in, and then ends with a final dagger. We also regret to inform you that since you have now applied to our program the maximum of 3 times, we will no longer be able to accept applications from you in the future. Best regards, Professor Sakura Okamoto, Graduate Admissions Committee Chair, Kotodama Institute, Tokyo, Japan.